Hey, what's up, everybody? Matt Modi with OddsJam. And how about 3 NFL player props for you guys to lock in for NFL Week 9? So, hopped on OddsJam, recording this on Friday. So, Thursday Night Football has come and gone. Nice victory for the Eagles. But regardless, going to have some nice NFL player props for you guys. Of course, using OddsJam to find these sharp player prop bets. So, 2 of them I found just on the positive expected value page. One of them I found using the OddsJam screen, which is a really, really nice tool that I love using. So definitely recommend going to oddsjam.com, checking it out and using the strategies that I talk about in this video to be profitable. If you haven't signed up yet, at least start a free trial. And again, use these strategies that I talk about. Watch other videos on the OddsJam YouTube channel and almost guarantee you'll be profitable in the long run. It's worked out great for me. But regardless, let's get into these picks. So the first one that I have here that I found using the positive expected value page is this Tyler Boyd under 61.5 receiving yards, minus 115 at BetMGM. So this is going to be my first pick. I'd like to put a full unit on this one. I do think it's worth a full unit play. BetMGM unfortunately has me limited. I can only get $14.04, but for those of you at home, should be worth a 1 unit play. So let's chat about this one. Again, Tyler Boyd under 61.5 receiving yards, minus 115 at BetMGM. So the reason why this is such a good play is because what this no vig odds column here tells you the no vig line to be. So the way this works, the whole process behind positive EV betting, OddsJam back tested thousands of betting opportunities, collected just millions of data points from all of those betting opportunities. Collected all this historical data, trying to determine what sportsbooks are the sharpest at pricing odds. What sportsbooks do the best job at pricing odds? It's as simple as that. It's a very complicated method of finding it. Very simple process of what they're trying to get out of it. And so the way it works, it's like I said, they calculated, collected all this data, and then once they determined all the sharp sportsbooks, they removed the VIG using a weighted average, giving heavier weight towards the sharper books. So the VIG, if you're unfamiliar, it's just the juice that sportsbooks price odds. It's how they make their money. They charge a VIG. They charge tax to odds themselves. So in order to get an accurate representation of what a sportsbook truly views a market to be priced at, you just got to remove the VIG. And that's exactly what is done right here. Minus 123 is what the true line, what all these sharp sportsbooks are telling you. Hey, this is what we actually think of a market. Minus 123. We can get it at minus 115 at BetMGM. So that's kind of the money, the secret sauce behind positive expected value betting. Everything that I'm going to be talking about moving forward are positive expected value betting strategies that you can use to be profitable. Because any play that shows up here, it's going to be positive EV, right? Like I'm filtering specifically for NFL player props because you can use these filters, league, NFL, market player prop, and here we go. But that doesn't mean that every single play you see on the page here with no filters is going to be profitable. So the strategies that you can do, there's a couple things. Number one is if you just open a play, like you just literally click into this blue square, it pulls up this page you see here, or I guess this little box you see here. And we're just looking at where every sportsbook is pricing odds for this play. And it's a pretty remarkable outlier when you look at how all the other sportsbooks, aside from BetMGM, price this. So you could ignore the prize picks and underdog lines because those are daily fantasy sports companies and they have the same implied odds for every play. Side note, this is also a good play to add to prize picks and underdog. So if you use the DFS platforms, I would recommend also adding this play to both of those. But for all of the actual sports books, look at where they price this play. Caesars, minus 145. DraftKings, minus 145. Tipico, minus 140. Pinnacle, minus 142. They all have it as significantly more likely to occur than the minus 115 that BetMGM is giving you. And then what you can do is if you open this event page in a new tab, it pulls up where every sportsbook is pricing the receiving yardage total itself. So not only is this under 61.5 an outlier at the minus 115 odds, but the other sportsbook that prices it, Bet Rivers, is pricing it at 2 yards lower at 59.5 and pricing it at 50-50. So if you're just comparing the BetMGM line to the rest of the sports books, this is a massive outlier in every way you think about it, from an odds perspective for the 61.5 itself. And I mean, I guess this one isn't a massive outlier because it's just one book, but the other book that prices this total gives it to you 2 yards lower. So when you're betting on player props or even main markets, anything like that, you just want to look at all of the other sports books and see where they're pricing a play at. You literally use the sports books to take advantage of each other. You use them against each other. If we see odds ranging from like minus 115 all the way to minus 145, just inherently one of those has to be mispriced. So because I'm signed up for all of these sports books, I know that this minus 115 is the one that's mispriced. And that's how you can be profitable in the long run. You just take advantage of outliers, of pricing discrepancies. So this first one, Tyler Boyd under 61.5 receiving yards, minus 115 at BetMGM. Next up, and this is a play that I found using the screen. So the screen is really cool because it gives you, like, that's the page I was just on, the receiving yardage page. It's basically what the screen gives you, but for every single game. So like the prop I have here is player passing yards, and it pulls up, again, across all the sports books, and it pulls up for every single game. So instead of just looking at the one specific game, I can pull for every single one. But the logic of what you're doing is the same thing. You're looking for outliers. You're looking for sports books that have something priced in a bad way. And right what we have here, Zach Wilson. So here's another awesome DFS play as well. Take his under 213.5 passing yards at Prize Picks, Thrive, and Underdog. The reason why, look at where all the other books are pricing it. 204.5, 204.5, favoring the under, heavily favoring the under. 207.5, and this is, we'll get to this later. 204.5, 206.5. All of these books have it priced 4 to 7 yards lower than what these DFS platforms are giving you. That's a great line. As is this bet that I'm actually going to lock in, Zach Wilson under 207.5 passing yards, minus 113 at Bet Rivers, or you can get it at Barstool as well. So this is going to be another play that is a full unit. I was able to get the full unit on this one. Zach Wilson under 207.5 passing yards. So there's a couple reasons why I like it. Number one, if you take out the DFS platforms, no book is pricing it at 207.5. They're all pricing it lower. DraftKings is the lowest at 204, tied with Caesars and BetMGM. And then look at the OddsJam line, pulled from the sharpest sportsbook in the world. Prices this at 206.5, a yard lower, and heavily favors the under, right? We see them price this. We see them price this at 206.5 and heavily favor it going under at minus 131. So this is a pretty awesome play here. Zach Wilson under 207.5 passing yards. Just, again, using the sports books against each other, finding out the sports books that have mispriced lines. And here we go. Another good play. The Zach Wilson one. Just from handicapping perspective, that dude stinks. I know he passed for a lot of yards against the Patriots last week, but he just has no idea what he's doing back there. He gets the ball. He gets back. He like in the pocket. He sets back. And then he just runs around wildly, aimlessly, like he's trying to play schoolyard college football. It just doesn't work like that. He can't sit in the pocket and dice up a defense. He runs around. He throws these just terrible, two of the worst interceptions you'll ever see Zach Wilson throw. So just from handicapping, like the Bills have the best defense in the entire NFL. They're not going to be able to do anything against that defense. So I like that play. And then the last one that I want to lock in here is DJ Moore over 64.5 receiving yards, minus 108 at Caesars. So let me go ahead and lock this one in. This is just a half unit play for me on this one. DJ Moore over 64.5 receiving yards. Pretty good play though. Minus 108 at Caesars. And look at where the other books. DraftKings, minus 135. Pinnacle, minus 119. BetOnline, minus 120. Every book, looks like except for Bet Rivers, has this over as the more likely scenario, except for Caesars, which favors the under. So this is a pretty good price. DJ Moore over his 64.5 passing yards, minus 108 on Caesars. And this is my third and final NFL player prop for this video. Of course, odds are going to keep changing, so make sure to subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel to get all these picks moving forward. But that is all I got for you guys. So appreciate you watching, and have a good one.